Are you here to find out the IRS's 4 most important deadline dates for real estate investors and business owners? Then you're in the right place. Everyone knows that they have to file their income tax returns each and every year. Until 2020, everyone was accustomed to the April 15th deadline date. The tax years 2020 and 2021 were unusual and exceptional tax years. They did not have the April 15th deadline date. However, as I make this video in February of 2022, I think we're back to normal. Everyone is going back to the April 15th deadline date. And the majority of people who are rushing to file their tax returns are trying to collect on their tax refunds. As a real estate investor and business owner, I file multiple tax returns each year. But I don't have a monopoly on this. There are many other real estate investors and business owners who also file multiple tax returns per year. And because I file multiple tax returns per year, the April 15th deadline is pretty tight. I want more time to finish up my prior year accounting. So every year, I file a 6-month IRS tax extension. It's free and very easy to do. I file tax extensions every year not only because I need more time. I also don't want to fight the crowd for tax software support as well as tax advice. Now, I do want to say that if you're successfully filing your tax returns on April 15th of each and every year, keep doing it. You're doing something right and you've got a good system in place. However, I do know a number of real estate investors and business owners who stress over filing their tax returns each and every year. It's never a fun experience, and it's never a quick experience. It's always a time-consuming ordeal. It's for those people that I make this video. Or perhaps you're successfully filing your tax returns by April 15th, but you want additional options, just in case. For those of you who are real estate investors and business owners, you know that preparing your tax returns is much more of an ordeal than an employee that works for a company drawing a W-2 statement. We have many more transactions to process during the year, and we have more reports to prepare for the year. Some of you already know that your filing deadlines are not always April 15th. Whether or not you have an April 15th deadline date depends on how you have structured your business. A disclaimer: I am not a tax preparation specialist or tax professional. This video should not be considered legal, financial, tax, or professional advice. If you need financial, tax, or professional advice, you should hire a professional to discuss your personal situation. I am only providing general information based on my personal research, experiences, and opinions. For example, I, along with many other small business owners, file a Form 1120-S. The Form 1120-S is a tax return for S corporations. S corporations are a special designation by the IRS. But aside from the IRS, a corporation is simply a corporation. But if you have an S corporation, or you're getting ready to form an S corporation, you need to know that the tax filing deadline is actually March 15th, not April 15th. And so for me, as tight as the April 15th deadline is, the March 15th deadline is super early for me. I want more time to file my S corporation tax returns than March 15th. March 15th is also the deadline date for filing tax returns for partnerships and multiple member LLCs. Now, in regards to single member LLCs, they are considered disregarded entities. And what that means is that you file your tax returns of a single member LLC under the owner's tax return. And generally speaking, most single member LLCs is owned by a single individual. By virtue of the fact that single-member LLCs are owned by individuals, the deadline date to file tax returns on a single-member LLC is April 15th. Also, if you have a sole proprietorship, the default deadline date to file tax returns is April 15th. So big picture, if you're a real estate investor or a business owner, you're already familiar with the default deadline dates of March 15th and April 15th. So the 2 default deadline dates of March 15th and April 15th, I absolutely mark on my calendar each year. However, I did say earlier in the video that I do file IRS tax extensions. The IRS allows individuals and legal entities to file a 6-month tax filing extension. This is free and easy to do. If you, like me, and you want the option and flexibility of a 6-month extension, you file for this IRS tax extension before the respective deadline dates. So if you have an S corporation with a default deadline date of March 15th, you file a tax extension before March 15th, and you will automatically get your 6-month extension. If you have a sole proprietorship or single member LLC, and you have a default deadline date of April 15th, if you file your tax extension, you will automatically get an extra 6 months, which will take you out to October 15th. For me, whether it's a September 15th or October 15th deadline date, I get a lot more room to breathe. I suspect that many of you watching this video would welcome an extra 6 months to file your tax returns. Now here's an important caveat that you need to know. Filing a tax extension does not give you more time to pay what you owe. It's simply giving you more time to file the actual tax return and you not incurring a penalty for filing late. This is the one downside of filing for tax extensions. You still have to do a rough calculation of how much you owe the IRS and get it paid unless you want to incur a penalty. However, there is a little bit of good news in all of this. The IRS does allow you a little bit of wiggle room. As long as you pay at least 90% of what you owe, or you don't owe more than $1,000, you won't get hit with an underpayment penalty. As a general rule and a personal preference, I would rather have the IRS have too much of my money than have too little. I know there are people who have strong feelings about the IRS holding more money than they should, but for me, it's not really a big issue. For me, if the IRS is holding a little bit more money than they should, that's fine. As long as I get it back as a credit or a refund, I'm good with it. Every year, I have an annual ritual. I pick a day sometime in February, and I file all my extensions all at one time. I do it automatically. I don't sit there and think about, which returns will I want in extensions and the ones I don't. I just get tax extensions for every tax return I know I need to file. It's easy, fast, and cheap insurance in case I do file my tax returns late. By filing tax extensions, I give myself the options 2 additional deadline dates of September 15th and October 15th. There is no downside for me. I get the peace of mind and the flexibility of filing later if I want to. If you like what you heard, I recommend you check out this next video. And while you're at it, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so that you will receive notifications when I upload new videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.